Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday Club, and we're back, joined by Suhel, Seth, and Sandip Ghosh, looking as bad as always. Sandeep, what is this? Yeah, okay, thank God. Because then everyone blames me for having bad audio when everybody else doesn't take it seriously. So, Suhel, big opposition unity meeting. So, what do you think, Ghanta?
Nothing will happen. You can have these meetings. I'm reminded of Alice in Wonderland when it says,
Hello,
lessons are
can
those
you?
that lesson from lesson to lesson.
I can't
It's
hear you
similar
all.
with meetings. These meetings will happen,
You guys are
kuch
muted.
nahi hoga, nothing will progress. They will fight intestinally. I don't see anything emerging out of this. It's very good optics, but it's very poor, uh, operationally. So I would use another quotation: operation successful, patient dead.
Hmm. Sandeep, what about you? Sandeep's not able to hear us clearly. And Sandeep, hello, Sandeep.
He's either frozen or I don't know, or he started
No, he
early
can't
today.
hear us. He's having some issues with his. But I mean, it's obviously being taken seriously because I hear Mamta Banerjee is on her way to Delhi. Rahul Gandhi cancelled one of his trips abroad. So they've also made changes. Your friend Kamal Nath has been removed as president from the Madhya Pradesh Congress. So they're obviously making some moves and they seem to be like now taking it seriously.
See, let me tell you, you can do whatever you want. You are up against a formidable machinery. That formidable machinery is united both at the hip and here. You are a disparate, desperate confederation. The last time anyone worked with a confederation was Abraham Lincoln. You cannot get these disparate groups of people together. They have large egos. Each believes he or she should be the prime minister. So there is chaos. So I would much rather say that this opposition unity is as much of a pipe dream as everything else. I happily would support opposition unity because, to be honest, for any democracy to be viable, to be functional, to be respected, you need a vibrant opposition. You cannot have a situation where the government of the day has its way in and on every issue. But it is
Hmm.
surely, as I said again, not Narendra Modi's job to go hunting for an opposition. The opposition must unite itself. Now, the opposition has to see whether its opposition unity is ideology based or power centric. Currently, it seems to be power centric. They are coming together in order to wrest power. They're not coming together because they have an ideological allergy to the plans and programs and policies of the BJP. So it's a double negative rather than a positive reason why you're bringing about this unity.
Hmm. Hmm.
Well, hello there, little mobile van on mute again.
At least she's come. AIM has not even come.
For AIM is busy party season.
I know. It's his party
Ghosh
season, actually.
was
Yeah.
partying and standing next to fancy cars, Sandeep, and
Oh,
claiming it's
no,
not you.
no car. Yeah, it is a. AIM is that clever. I said he'll find out it is a display model somewhere, and that's not even a means operational car. But anyway, I don't want to digress. I was quite blown by that whole experience at the Nita Ambani, Mukesh Ambani Center. So, Mamma Mia last
How is it?
evening. Oh, superb. The whole experience over there is very good. I think the
I'll tell you, it's India's answer to the Guggenheim, to everything. What Neeta and
absolute,
Mukesh Ambani have done, hats off. It
Will they
absolutely.
requires,
host us? Will they host
huh?
a Sunday club?
Of
Yeah,
course, they'll
there are
host a
several
Sunday
things.
club.
Yeah, they will. There are various places within that.
Hmm.
It's brilliant.
It's not just one auditorium. They've got uh, several sizes. There are so many things going on simultaneously. Art
Hmm.
shows, private small concerts, the rest of it. Anyway, it's really, really, as Suhail says, I was quite blown away by the entire, all said, Rahul Gandhi can talk about Adani, Ambani, and all these people understand scale, they understand
Absolutely,
what
yeah.
world class,
And
that
what the hell does Rahul Gandhi contribute other than an unwashed T-shirt and a gait
How
that
do you know
seems
it's
coming
unwashed?
out of entitlement? See, she will ask the most stupid and inane questions.
No, but she's right. How do you know it's unwashed?
It's not about how do you know. You're making a comment. It's an analogy. It is alliterative, but she won't know these words. Now, but how do you know it's unwashed? Are, look at the bigger issue. Now, because she has spent the whole of last week chasing a bloody smoke bomb from which no smoke emerged, now she's become a sensational star. I mean, these are the
Yeah,
people.
Honey,
she's
you
the
must,
only
guys,
She
I'm going
is
to send you the
wrestling for
link. You
she's the
smoke.
must see
only
those
one in
Most
the
of these
three
guys are
piece.
wrestling for power.
the
Array,
only one in the Sunday Club who has trended nationally, I might add. Okay.
you
nationally
must
and
see
then
the news
treated
laundry
on news
on
laundry.
me. I
She's
mean, they've just
relevant.
gone on and on and on. But anyway,
What? Pallavi, say, please,
I
say,
said
you're
the
a
news
star.
laundry piece on me. They do this thing called nuisance, right? Manisha Pandey does it. It's very nice, actually. It's funny because it's basically a spoof of journalists who make fools of themselves. So in this case, it's all about me. And then she tells Ornav, I'm sorry, but she's like completely overtaken you in crappy journalism and all that. And then she goes through all my tweets and all of that. I sent the link. I did send you guys. I'll send it
No, I
again.
haven't got any link.
Because you're not in that WhatsApp group. You walked out of that WhatsApp group, Suhel, which is how rude can you get?
Why can't
No,
you
we
just
can
send a
invite.
direct message?
Pallavi, we can take revenge on your behalf and invite Abhinandan and Manisha on the Sunday Club and roast them.
Will they
Are you
come?
mad? Roast people who are worth roasting.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't waste my time
Absolutely.
roasting these chaps.
Okay, guys. Okay, it is just humor. But let's move on.
Why did
Pallavi,
you stick to the subject?
yeah. It was our friend Sandip Ghosh who had to name drop. So we've given him those 3 minutes. Now, Pallavi, what's the gossip? What's the behind the scenes gupshup about the big opposition meeting? I saw your tweet. You said Mamta is already
He
headed to
arrived.
Delhi. Huh.
Abhishek Banerjee has arrived.
Okay.
And on 19th, when the meeting is going to take place, Arvind Kejriwal is going out for 10 days of his, what does he go for? That
Which
Vipassana.
you should also
Vipassana.
try, which is keeping your mouth shut and your mind open.
But I only hope he's here because the meeting begins at 11. I'm going to ignore Suhail. But
Yeah.
someone told me that your own Sunday club people have trolled you more than the trolls have.
I didn't. I didn't. To be
You
fair, I
did.
never
Your tweet was a troll.
did. Not at all. Not at all. I never trolled you because I only troll people A, who are worth trolling, and B, who have really self incriminated or castigated themselves. And you're a sweet, gentle soul. My only issue with you is a lack of focus and your constant desire to be mobile.
On the move. Yeah.
And eating also.
No, eating though
Eating.
is a bong thing, boss.
Again, you all are digressing. Can we get back to the point?
Yeah.
Come on, Pallavi.
But
So okay.
Pallavi,
So is there
Mamata Banerjee's
engagement?
main agenda is
I
to
think
ask
the
Modi for
Prime
funds.
Minister's statement interview today to Dainik Jagran early this morning, and just a day ahead of tomorrow, I mean, in the sense that Parliament resumes tomorrow, where the HM is supposed to speak on the criminal amendment bills. And also, the PM said a lot of stuff on the India Front Alliance. I mean, very quickly, I remember one point he said is this Chandrababu Naidu and Congress fought together in Telangana, but they are fighting each other in Andhra Pradesh, which is going to come up for elections next year. So he says people have no faith in the India front. So then he starts giving a list of things. He said some very
Kerala,
interesting stuff. He said about one nation, one poll is not a matter of debate. It has to happen. He said Article 370. He said that Ram Mandir. In fact, even as we speak, the Prime Minister is in Kashi. I think he set the tone for the India front opposition meeting. I mean, like very dismissive of them. And the most important thing that the India Front is supposed to start talking about, and the deadline was 30th of September, which hasn't happened, is the fact that seat sharing. I don't know if they're going to talk about this on 19th. Because if they just meet and say, okay, ED kia, CBI kia, Parliament attack kia, fair enough. But seat sharing is the most critical. I am told the BJP is already drawn up their list on who they want should campaign and contest. And they've drawn up alternatives. अगर A हम खड़ा करते हैं उनका यहाँ से ये लड़ेगा तो उसके खिलाफ हम B करेंगे. You know, that kind of stuff. They've already started work. We may not know, but the people who are going to contest Lok Sabha have already been told. And here you have a party which can't even make up its mind कि कौन seat sharing होगा, who's going to fight, who's I don't know.
Couldn't you all have shared the canister, Pallavi?
We did. We were nice to each other. So
Yeah,
apart from that,
giving Gyan to India
for
Line.
a good 20 minutes. After I finished doing my walkthrough, I gave it to a Z. He gave it to Thing. So after 2 hours, when I came back to the spot, people were still doing stand-ups with that. So it's okay. I'm going to go back to Parliament. I'm going to do a happy selfie with all those people I fought with and then tweet. So let people think that we fight, but it's okay. I mean, it's fine.
Your voice is hoarse today, so I'm going to give you a
So
little rest.
yesterday when I went for this fancy lunch, so there were two groups of people. One, of course, is the one who kept on trashing me, told me, how could you? And the others who walked up to me and says, okay, fine, you give it back. So,
did you pick up any gossip at their lunch that you can share with all our viewers? By the way, 644 people watching. Please like, share.
So we can't get
subscribe.
the gossip.
She's gone. Just asking for gossip.
I just have to send a message to office. I'm here.
She's on audio. Yeah.
She's on audio mode. Sandip, I mean, we saw how vicious it got. Oh, wait, before I go there, our viewers are asking this, and this is important. What is this Donate for Desh campaign? I think it's like really bad optics, the timing, because you've just had that Congress MP get raided with over like 300 crores
So
cash.
the timing is perfect
No,
because they need the money. The timing is perfect. The communication is screwed up.
After that raid, to come out with a campaign like this, I mean, come on.
You raised Advaita. What do you think of it, Advaita? Is this a good idea for the Congress to go in for crowdfunding? It's actually going to be launched properly on 18th, which is tomorrow. They're saying it's like Mahatma Gandhi ne bhi kiya tha.
I get all of that, but I just feel like if last week your MP has been raided, and okay, fine, like the MP saying this has to do with my business, Congress has said it's nothing to do with us, etc., etc. But the conjecture, the optics, the assumptions that people are making, so you get raided, you lose whatever that X amount of money, and then you run this campaign, Donate for Desh. I think it's off.
Here I must wear my chartered accountant's cap, which I lost somewhere 40 years ago. As soon as you hear of crowdfunding like this or lotteries, etc., your antenna goes up, because this is the oldest trick in the book for money laundering. And that's why whenever your so-called these portals say that please donate this thing, or AIM, as I wrote, AIM's friends, who are the fact checkers and activists, who raise money through keto or whatever panels they do, that is all hogwash. How much money you've seen? How much money do you get? People, what are doing, are giving you a nice gesture, but how much money?
Yes, crowdfunded. Advaita has asked for crowdfunding.
Yeah, I'm saying, how much do you get?
I never asked for crowdfunding. People do these super chats on their own, and it's very sweet.
Very sweet, but you don't get anything. Now, when these people who ask for crowdfunding, later on you find when there are income tax raids where the money has come from. This is age-old, tactics. So if they are doing that now, the linkage is this, that they would like to, let's say, if this fellow did it earlier, they would say he got that money because people donated 10 rupees each. I know, if I don't want to name and get into problem of political parties who would then sell 1 rupee tickets, so basically show that they have sold those lottery tickets and got money, and thereafter they destroy those coupons. So these are all old-time tricks. So it's nothing to do with that. And people understand. If people don't understand, certainly the government understand, and they will be really inviting more trouble by doing that. What Narendra Modi did, if you forget this, they are trying to copy all his from his, copy book. He did it several years back on his that Namo app or whatever they did, in which BJP said online put in money, let them get this money online, that will be transparent. And that was done for a different reason. They said if somebody is paying even 50 paisa or 1 rupee, they are investing in the cause. They're getting invested in voting for Modi, voting for BJP, because you have done that. So that's a very different psyche. BJP certainly doesn't run its election on that money.
Hmm.
So
See, I told you, people are already saying that. I don't know why they wouldn't have factored that in. Professor, thanks for joining us. What do you make of this donation for Desh campaign, and why is the Congress only running it? If they're going to be fighting as Indie Alliance, then shouldn't this be all of Indie Alliance coming together and running this campaign?
Well, not necessarily. Look, each party raises its own funds. Coalitions are okay where seat arrangements are concerned, fighting the elections are concerned. When it comes to funding, I think each party basically will take care of its own funding. Now, look, this crowdfunding thing is basically to provide some sort of a cover for funding through conventional sources. And when I say conventional sources, I'm not referring to electoral bonds. They're basically, look, they have a couple of governments where businessmen, particularly liquor businessmen, will be squeezed dry for funding. And now those that funding cannot come through electoral bonds for obvious reasons, because when it comes to electoral bonds, businessmen have a limited leeway. There's a certain percentage of their profits which they can invest, and these characters will have to be squeezed for far, far more if you are to run a national campaign. So, under these circumstances, the best thing to do is basically to tell the rest of the world, this is what we did, and this is the money we got. Okay, it's not a transparent process, but it's an obvious process. And already, I think the masters, particularly a former governor of the Reserve Bank, have already started, their spiels on various medias to put their rubber stamp on it.
Name
So
him
this
now.
is
He
not surprising.
justified he justified Sahu's cash also by
Who?
Yes,
saying what will
Who
they do? They're a
justified?
poor party. They don't have money.
Mr. Rajan,
Raghuram
Mr.
Rajan.
Rajan, Mr.
One
Rajan,
second, one second, one second, one second. Who justified Sahu's cash, Pallavi?
Raghuram Rajan in an
Are you
interview
serious?
said,
Yeah.
Yes.
when he was asked about this
Okay.
Sahu ka cash, he said you also have to understand that unlike the BJP, which gets those electoral bonds and they're the party in power, what happens if any other corporate wants to send money to Congress and all, they will be chased by the BJP. So people are left with no option but to look
But it's
for
a
money
fact.
else.
But it's a fact. So I have no
But
issues
that
about donate for Desh. I have none. They should be allowed to raise money. You see, this perniciousness with which anything that is non BJP must be therefore, screwed is incorrect. They have said donate for Desh. The point that both Dipankar and Shundip made is worth evaluating. Will it be a legal, will it be legit? Yes. But will it stand for probity? Who knows? But are the electoral bonds for probity? The answer is no. So भाई इस हमाम में सब नंगे हैं और हमाम में हर वक्त नंगे ही होते हैं. No one goes for a Turkish bath with all their clothes on. So let's not be fooled. The BJP has mastered the art of electoral funding. Now, if the Congress wants some money, so be it. Let the laws of the land be either tweaked or be enforced to make sure that it is not money laundering or it is not illegit money. But you cannot deny a political party from collecting money. Mayawati did it by by playing the OBC card, and she used shit money. And what did she do with the money? Bloody owned 5 houses on Sardar Patel Marg in New Delhi. And even her statues had handbags which were open. Even the statues had open handbags, hoping that some pigeons will drop money instead of their shit. So भाई इस सरकार ने या इस पॉलिटिकल माहौल में हमने देखा है कि everyone tries to circumvent the law. And by the way, why are all of us on this panel being hypocritical? The biggest offenders are the people who run the Election Commission of India. I've said it before, I will say it again. Absolute scoundrel behavior. I'll tell you why. The Election Commission is blind. They don't know that every candidate in every election, whether it's for the assembly or for parliament, is spending way beyond what is stipulated. Don't they know that? If they turn a blind eye to that, no one has been penalized. So, let's stop being hypocritical. अब अगर कांग्रेस ने किया है, don't throw the baby with the bathwater. That's my view.
One second. Look, election funding in India, I think, is an ongoing process. Nobody will say it's perfect. But let's get one thing clear. For example, if I'm headquartered in, say, Bangalore, and people know which company is paying whom, etc. Just as it is possible for the central government to go after a company with its tools, it's also possible for a particular state government to go after that particular company with the tools at its disposal. It's possible. Now, the question is, you could be brazen about it, you could be more sophisticated about it. So, this talk about, only the central government figuring out who is funding whom is false. At the end of the day, I think fairly everybody will know who's funding whom. And the fact that only the central government can go after a particular company is substantially correct, but not entirely correct. Now, the thing is, you can basically create trouble for a company you want to go after for funding certain parties. The thing is the following, you also have to ask yourselves, why is it that the BJP gets the maximum amount of funding? And it's not that the BJP got the maximum amount of funding only after it came to power. Even before the BJP came to power, and for a long time, it was possibly not the government in waiting. Why was it able to collect money? Look, it has to do with the programs that you are espousing. If you are seen to be a party that is pro-business, rightly or wrongly, business will support you, as business used to support the Swatantra Party in the 60s, 50s and 60s. Now, did business suffer because of that? Yes, they did. Now, for the Congress, basically, Raghuram Rajan to say, look, everybody knows, the central government knows who's funding whom, nobody else knows. This is hypocritical. Look, the fact remains, given the huge exercise that elections are in this particular country, they require money. The Election Commission, and I think it's a momentum of our past hypocrisy, refuses to set realistic limits for the expenses for this particular election. That's number one. How they are to be funded is another matter. One day we possibly will basically go in for some Western models where the funding you get is state funded and in proportion to the votes you poll or the seats you get. That's another matter altogether. I'm not too sure that's the best way to go it. But the fact is, yes, the momentum of our past hypocrisy also prevents us from doing anything substantial in this particular matter. Given the funds, given the limits that we set our candidates, look, the number of voters in a single Lok Sabha sometimes exceeds populations of several countries. So, we have to be realistic about the limits to funding. Let's amend the law. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you.
You cannot have a situation where the law says something, you find brazenly the law being broken, and then say, "Nahi, but please follow the law." I mean, we are stupid. Yeah. You remember many years ago, we had that stupid bloody rule in India that a director of a company could not draw more than 15,000 rupees because that was the salary of the president of India.
Yes.
I mean, the babus actually are the worst offenders. Those rascals need to be shot, some of them.
See, if I may come in for 2 minutes. First of all, I think the problem, Dipankar, has become far too complex. Today, the amount of money which is spent even in a panchayat election is humongous. Sometimes I wonder, where does so much of money come from, in any election there. So what is being spent today in a Lok Sabha election, various figures are quoted. They said south of India, average seat is 30 crores spending. So you cannot visualize a situation where the state is going to be funding that kind of money, and you cannot bring people down. And it has become totally endemic. I was hearing in one state how in each village how many crates of liquor was sent just before the election. So the scale is crazy. People go back home. Today we know workers from different parts of the country, they go back home because they know they'll be paid money even during panchayat election. If they go and vote, and people like Kejriwal tell you that please take money from everybody and come and vote us. So it's a very, very messy situation where I don't know where how you can get it. The problem Congress has had is earlier, if you read Rashid Kidwai's book, Rashid Kidwai openly writes, so I can quote over there. He talks of Motilal Vora. He says Motilal Vora's whole job was after he used to have an early dinner and then he used to pace up and down a place Pallavi is very familiar with, Ashoka Road. And he said, not Ashoka Road, what do you call
Akbar Road.
Akbar
See, she
Road?
knew, huh? Akbar Road. She knew. ये बड़ी मिस्री
Akbar
है.
Road. He
I
used
think
to
Congress
pace,
office is there.
so he used to
He
pace
could
up.
have been referring to the BJP office.
Congress headquarters. Come on, move
So,
on. Now she's
so
well informed.
he used to come and pace up and down to basically count the number of vans which used to come in with cash over there. So that was the job which was being done then. Now the problem with BJP Congress had, and one knows it for a fact, they suddenly found that entire money has shifted. What's their angst with Adani? Or and why was to some extent, earlier one business house used to control a lot of these things, then there was a counter created, and their problem with Adani is they think Adani is generating funds for this government. Now what has happened, Advaita, to come back to your question, after this they had two major other money sources right now. One was Chhattisgarh, the other was Rajasthan, and Karnataka came in as a bonus. Now they are kind of left with only one state. So they will have to, and the fact is, Congress did get a lot of money off late. Whether people were doing it on the assumption that their chances of improve, otherwise they could not have funded something like Bharat Jodo Yatra and even these elections. The amount of money they have spent, they were getting. So there is money in the system. So they'll have to now, get it back into the center. And this government, they know how they can just go and swoop in, and they have done. This government has done this in 2019. I don't want to take specific cases where there were raids, etc. done. There were raids in Ahmed Patel's house and everywhere. If the cash movement is there, so they're probably creating, a whole complex machinery to see that they cannot be easily brought to book.
Okay. Very quickly, again, please like, share, subscribe. Why I'm repeating myself is because we have to hit 50,000 and we're like 100 and some subscribers away from that. So very, very exciting. We're going to hit it by the end of the year. But that's with the Desh Donate for Desh campaign and all of those things. Pallavi, just very quickly coming back to you. I think she's here, but she's again moved out of
But
the
let
show.
me tell you, this is very irritating. Now, I appreciate she's a busy journalist. She has to fight for her rights and all that shit. But, we have to follow some decorum. Either you're on the panel or you're off the panel. There's no such thing as partial pregnancy.
Etiquette is
Yeah, I mean, this is ridiculous. Yeah, sometimes she'll come in, sometimes she won't come in. What the fish? Is she a
Oh,
floating
this is
cloud or
really
what?
nice. Other people are subscribing, so great.
Yeah,
It's like
see,
the
again,
proverbial
digressing
Cheshire
Moon
woman.
is
cat,
always unhappy, and we can't have negativity. Okay, moving on from the
Yeah, let
negativity.
me tell you, we
Hmm.
need the following to be overhauled. Number one, we need greater enforceability of elections expenditure rules. But before that, we need these rules to be overhauled given the new India AB. No matter what you might say, the candidate who spends the money knows how to recover that money. So please don't think that the candidates will not recover the 30, 40, 50 crores. Who will they recover it from? People like us. How? Through bribes. Do you think the BJP, when it collects money, doesn't do favors to industry? Of course it does. Congress does it too. So, sab mile hue hain, as Kejriwal used to say. Kejriwal is also the same. He is
Something else.
equally duplicitous. So there is no doodh ka dhula person here. So either we all put blinkers on our eyes and pretend the world is all kosher, or we actually say to ourselves that the system needs cleansing. I genuinely believe Narendra Modi can fight that battle of cleansing because he
Hmm.
has nothing to lose. If he does that, whether he does it through one nation, one election, whether he does it through reforms of election laws and election expenditure, this needs to be done. Simple.
It has to be done in that kind of macro fashion by
Yeah.
changing the entire shifting just by tweaking with laws won't do.
Yeah.
Because whosoever fights an election, I think I recall again, I had read somewhere, when Manmohan Singh fought the only election he did from South Delhi.
Yeah.
He used to be sitting there, nobody used to even bring, and he couldn't even ask, poor chap couldn't ask people to donate money. So when people gave him some money, but he got some few lakhs of rupees, which was not even enough for him to, shift the needle over there. So people, whether it's Modi or if tomorrow, why can't you and I go and fight elections tomorrow? Because you need sponsors. So when there are so-called quote unquote, you'll find professionals who I don't want to, again, some of them are Pallavi's friends, who went and fought elections and even won it from certain states. They had sponsors behind them. They could have been the face, etc., but they needed, because again, fighting from a southern Indian state, and if you say I've done it with my provident fund money, that's very rich. So a lot of these people do that, and I I think that has to happen through that sort of correction. Other than that, you will not find a solution. But the problem here, again, I repeat, is this whole, what Raghuram Rajan is trying to say is not, he used this term, it's not a level playing field. So if it's not a level playing field, if you're creating somewhere else. But the Supreme Court judge who was hearing this case, electoral bond, he was very perceptive. He told one of the lawyers that yes, the difference between electoral bonds and getting money in cash, and I think it is one of your politician senior lawyer. He said this: when you get in cash, the person collecting also gets a cut. When his electoral bonds is coming straight to the coffers of the central coffers of the party, so you people are unhappy that you're not getting it in cash.
Pallavi wants to say something.
what is
Pallavi,
she
we
doing?
can't hear you.
See,
Pallavi can't hear you. Come back, turn your audio on. No,
see,
can't hear you. You need to log out and come back in.
she's off, on, heard, unheard. What kind of nonsense?
I want to thank all the people who are joining and subscribing to the channel. It's really amazing. Thank
But
you
it's
so
also
much.
unfair on them.
Why? You're just joining. It doesn't cost anything. They're just
No, no,
subscribing.
no. So Pallavi goes away and they're putting the money, and then it's like a no-show. We had in Nepal a Mamta Kulkarni show was built for it. People paid money, and then she didn't turn out, or the person who turned up, they thought
But
she
this
was
must
very.
have happened about 30 years ago, and
No,
it's
but
I
Pallavi,
feel the kind
as
of
you
stuff.
said,
You're
she's
still,
a
you're still
Mamta
post
Kulkarni.
trauma over it for having paid for a Mamta Kulkarni show and she didn't turn up. I mean, I
Pallavi,
feel yeah, Pallavi's back,
okay.
hopefully with her audio. But she wanted to say something.
Now,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Pallavi, you wanted to say something.
I think Manisha has joined because I just saw a message saying Manisha Pandey Singh has joined. So,
Oh, yeah, she's from Uttarakhand, so yeah, she's cool.
Acha, anyway, so we'll come to know if she's joined or not in a bit.
Join where?
Getting
I
like
I don't
all.
know what we were talking about. See,
Oh,
I don't
Pallavi,
think
I wanna
joined.
ask you something. Pallavi, now that we're discussing this, what's the latest on Mahua Moitra? Last week she was expelled, as that was expected. Then she's also appealed to the Supreme Court, and she also got an eviction notice from her residence, and
Yeah, yeah.
she's been given a
She's got
month
an
or so
eviction
to leave.
notice.
Yeah.
So, see, Mamta Banerjee is here. She must have reached by now. She's going to be here for 2 to 3 days. So we've been told that she's going to meet us. She's going to meet a couple of journalists. So we would
Are
love
you
to
one of
ask.
them?
Yeah, Suhel, people like me. They do call me.
No, are you one of them?
Yeah.
She's meeting you.
She'll speak
She's
in
meeting
Bangla,
us.
no?
So you'll
No,
have a
I
solo
don't know why
interview with her,
Suhel
single
saying that
face-to-face
menacing look.
interview with her.
No, there's no interview happening. Why should she give an interview?
Also, she's meeting a group of journalists of which you are part of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Going by the demographic breakup of the Sunday
Now,
Club, Mamta
Suhel, now
Banerjee
don't
joined the
do it.
Sunday Club as
I
well.
don't know. Suhel is looking at me in a menacing manner. मुझे लग रहा है वो फोन करेगा बोलेगा इसको मत बुलाओ.
Yeah,
Okay.
but she coming to
Info
that
though.
place, ask
Even
Modi
when
Going
for
back to
money.
Pallavi, yeah, very quickly. Let Pallavi finish
Yeah.
her point on this.
going
Yeah,
back
go
to
ahead, Pallavi.
both the cases have been deferred to 3rd. So 3rd of Jan, her Supreme Court and the High Court. And it's a little bit of a setback, I would say, because she wanted an urgent hearing, which was not given. But she's got good lawyers. She's got Abhishek Manu Singhvi. She's got a battery of 4-5. I think it's just something which is going to go on and on and on. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen in a hurry. She's supposed to leave within 30 days. So she has time. She's not here. She's in Krishnanagar. Even as we speak. That's what I've been told, that she's in Nodia and all. So it's interesting because Mamata Banerjee is going to have a meeting with all the party MPs. She's, of course, not an MP, but technically she's an MP, right? Even though she's an expelled one. So, yeah, I think Mohua chalta rahega. It's something which
I think actually her best bet is probably to be in Krishnanagar and kind of establish herself there and try for a seat or a ticket rather the next
Krishnanagar is
time
such a
round.
strong bastion, but anyone who contests from there for Mohua, it'll be a cakewalk. I think if she gets the ticket, she contests from there. I think the way she's going to vindicate herself is she gets even better margin than last time round. If she gets a huge margin, then of course she's going
What
to
you're
play on
saying,
the fact that dekho, people have voted for me.
what you're saying is that it's a safe seat for the TMC?
Yeah, it's a safe seat. It's a very safe seat for AMC, yeah.
Why do you
So
say so?
from there is not a big deal, but the margin becomes important, and of course she's going to use that. I mean, in fact, TMC will also make that point, that she stands vindicated, the voice of the people, and so on and so forth.
Don't rule out BJP there. BJP has won that seat
Absolutely
earlier.
right.
BJP
Yeah,
has
but
won that seat.
I think
There's a
there's
lot of
Won that
unhappiness in Krishnanagar and Nodia district about the performance of the said MP. Now, we don't know what will happen, but don't rule out the BJP making
he
inroads.
goes there and campaigns to
and
hell,
the
going to help.
I have some clue as to what the person BJP may be fielding there, who
Tell
Suhel
us.
and I know, and the son
Tell
of
us,
one.
no, you lock it.
No.
No,
Not talking.
no,
Let him
no, no, no.
finish.
The son of I don't want to get into. There is a sensitivity to name specifically, but the son of a former BJP MP from that constituency.
Correct. I'll tell you the name.
Yeah.
Yes, Sluggo, who was the former Advocate General who resigned, and his father Julu Mukherjee was the longest-serving MP, a long-serving MP of the BJP. His name is Shomendro, but we call him Sluggo. He's a lawyer,
Gopal.
lovely person. Father Julu Mukherjee and Julu's wife Lily Di was a judge also at the Calcutta High Court. Outstandingly educated, refined family, and that's where he will come in from that seat.
Actually, rumors in Kolkata rife that Jolubabu's son is basically getting that seat.
Correct, because Jolu Babu always fought from that seat. Oder Khandani Barita Okhane means it's their ancestral home.
Even I know Bangla now, yeah. God, amazing.
Good for you, yeah. You keep yourself free on Jan 26. We'll get the President of India to salute you while you're on an elephant. Or vice
By the
versa.
way, which is a good segue into our next topic, who is coming as chief guest? Because there's all this thing
certainly
about
not
Biden.
Pallavi, because she won't be in one place.
I don't know who's coming.
Can I tell you, that is also all rubbish. We all get excited, chief guest, aayega, chief guest. Ultimately, the stars of the show are our armed forces. They are the stars. And our honorable president will give them the salute. What more, yeah? How does it matter whether Lula comes or Lallu comes or whatever?
Why it matters to me if Biden comes or if Rishi
If
Sunak
Biden comes, Biden will forget he's in India. He might think it's Pakistan, given his level of intellect.
How can you say that about us?
Okay,
what if Rishi Sunak comes?
Pallavi, quick question to you. You went for a lunch.
Conversations you have when you meet Mamta Banerjee. Okay, not in a story like this.
Pallavi, you went for a very spicy lunch yesterday. What was the gossip you picked up? It was a proper Lutyens lunch.
Are
So
there's
let us poor souls who are on the outside know a little bit.
no, no. We were some of us were invited. You don't have to go everywhere. You're invited. Pallavi
Okay,
would
so
go for the
just
into
because
a
you are
bar.
not at the party
He is,
doesn't
he
mean
is
you
such
get
a
so
jealous
huffy about
boy,
it.
man.
No, I'll tell you. It's a lovely lunch. Every year, Dilip
Mhm.
and Devi Cherin host it,
Yeah,
and Pallavi is a star there.
No,
especially
she's
today, after trending.
yesterday I was a bit of a star because everyone was talking about my colorful character and all that stuff. But yeah, otherwise
So
it
what
was
did you
nice lunch. It was a nice mix. I mean, I found BJP leaders, Congress leaders. In fact, a lot of people from RG's office I found there, which was very interesting for me. Sachin Pilot and all of those people were there.
Sachin
so that
Pilot,
was
as soon as you see him, you get excited. I'm telling you, you're putting he's not the kind of person you should have as a Rajasthan chief minister. Take it from me,
No,
Pallavi.
you don't decide that now. You're not voting in Rajasthan, right? And I'm not excited. I get excited when I see your red car also. That doesn't mean I'm excited about you.
Not my red car here.
Can
Pallavi
you
was
bring the
so
discussion
desperate.
back to what we're
Yeah.
supposed to discuss, Miss
all
Kala?
I know, Pallavi, did anyone mention the Sunday club to you at the lunch or not? That's all I'm interested in.
In fact, they thought that the Sunday Club episode will happen from there. I said, what makes you think so? I'm the only one from the club there.
Huh.
Eh?
Who said that? Who said the
I mean,
Sunday
they
club?
only told me that Suhel was mean to you on the color thing. Your own Sunday Club people were now
Oh,
mean to you.
Oh dear.
oh, this
So
is
they
where they
told
were
me about
brainwashing
Suhel.
you.
They told me
Yeah,
about
Anjali, give us.
AIM also. I said, no, I don't take these guys too seriously.
Yeah, yeah. Neither do we take them or you. Chodna.
Okay.
Oh, but we saw you in Sunday Club. You bullshit. Yeah, chalo. Get on with the topic, ma'am.
Okay,
Get on with the topic.
on to
There are all
next,
these
on to the
intelligent
next.
people waiting to
Yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Next topic. Big one. This guy who's an alleged drug dealer, Naveen Gupta, supposedly the guy who
Nikhil
was
Gupta.
commissioned. Nikhil
Naveen
Gupta.
Gupta? Nikhil Gupta.
I mean, look
Nikhil
at this.
Gupta.
This is their level
Nikhil
of
Gupta
attention to detail.
was supposedly like commissioned to carry out to hire a hitman to get to Panu, etc., etc. Bottom line was that he was arrested in the Czech Republic, kept in solitary confinement for 2 months, was in all likelihood interrogated according to his complaint through his lawyer, was made to eat beef and pork and admit to things. So what's happening here? And then we see Blinken across the border with some Pakistani higher ups. Again, those unknown gunmen thing is going on. So, Professor, how are you reading all of this?
Look, these are the usual moves. It could be by the government of India, it could be by Nikhil Gupta himself to basically throw dust in this particular matter. Nikhil Gupta was obviously trying to save his own skin. In saving his own skin, he will try to muddy waters. And when he tries to muddy waters, I think willy nilly, the government of India and others will also come in and try to, I would say, discredit all links and all efforts to link him with what has happened, the alleged terror plot. So this is, I think, part of the game. Let us watch it and be amused.
And be amused. And what do you think, Jayashankar? Today, I see that he's taking a tough stance again. He's talking about the Security Council and kind of how it's a closed club. So India doesn't, at least in its foreign policy, doesn't seem to be on the back foot at all, and neither is it planning to play on the back foot. It's just maintaining a certain stoicism in the face of these allegations.
But why should it? Look, if you look at the major powers today, be it the United States, China, or the Soviet Union, everybody right now are on weak grounds. And this is the time you push forward your claims. I think he is doing exactly what he is mandated to do. The time is right and he is doing his job. This is not a claim that Jaishankar brought up. This has been our stance from right from the beginning. There was a time when this stance did not get traction.
Not from the beginning. I mean, in the beginning, we were
Not
offered
from,
a seat.
okay,
We gave it
okay,
away
okay, not,
to we gave it
okay.
away to China.
Okay, I am not going to do that, but for I would say last 40 to 50 years, that's been our stance. We've been pushing towards it. There was a time when economically we were nothing at all, not very, very important strategically. where our stance did not find traction. Now, with the rise of India as an economy and the manner in which certain major powers have boxed themselves into certain holes where they want our support, want us to be on their side, I think this is the best time when we push our case forward. And that is precisely what Jaishankar is doing.
Yeah, you have a moment for everything. I think this is the most opportune moment strategically. Sort of a combination of thing, is conspiring into that. I think
Yeah.
if you don't strike now, you'll have to wait for another opportunity. You don't know how things change a year down the line. One thing, Advaita, which people say about this government, even their critics, even people who have reservation, that this government is moving ahead very solidly, as if there is no change, business as usual, whatever happens, election, no election. At this point in time, remember, Advaita, in 2013, the UPA government was a lame duck government. And here, on every front, whether it's economic, whether it's foreign policy, whether it's science, technology, everywhere, this government is going ahead as if it's going to be there. And it's not just with the idea of what's going to happen next year, but with a longer term vision. And nobody can really question the soundness of that vision, although Raghuram Rajan may. He was ridiculous guy. Today he's talking about nutrition. He says people are undernourished, so 30 years later you will have a workforce who are physically not fit to work. अरे कहाँ से कहाँ लेके वो
I have
No,
a feeling he's going to
but I
contest
tell you,
elections from the
no, no,
Congress.
no. Whether he contests or not, these are people who are seeking relevance. You have to understand Narendra Damodar Das Modi. In many ways, he is Lord Fauntleroy. So, there is an erection of his own statue every morning that he looks in the mirror. Also, you've got to understand these guys have suddenly been thrown into the cauldron of irrelevance. They will tug at the straws if need be in order to become relevant, in order to be in currency of conversation or any such thing. So I don't grudge him that. What I do grudge is the fact that people from Pallavi Ghosh's fraternity get taken in by this drivel and then hail him as the new messiah of economic prowess or monetary hope, neither of which is true. So the reality is Raghuram Rajan must be allowed to say stupid things, because by saying that he's only exposing his own stupidity. We should not come in the way of someone actually expressing his stupidity at such a national scale. We should allow that person to do it. And if people like Pallavi are great aids to that movement, so be it.
Suhel, what heartens me is that the response to Rajan is not just coming from the usual trolls, it is coming from other economists, it's coming from people who observe business, and they're countering him with facts. More importantly, people are also looking at his past predictions regarding the Indian economy and very, very closely at this reputation, where apparently he was the one who basically forecast the 2008 financial crisis. All these revelations and all the research that is now going in paint him out to be a far less formidable economist than we knew him to be. And let us face it, people are comparing his tenure at the Reserve Bank with Shaktikant Das's tenure now at the Reserve Bank. And guess, for me as an economist, it's humbling. But the fact is, Shaktikant Das has done a
Way ahead.
far
Way
better
ahead.
job than Raghuram Rajan did.
There are
I
only
mean,
two great governors Reserve Bank has had in the last 4 years. Great governors. One was Dr. Bimal Jalan and the other is Shaktikant Das. All the others fall by the wayside and pale in comparison to Shaktikant.
I mean, if you look at actual performance, look at actual predictions of the RBI when Raghuram Rajan was the governor, those predictions have been wrong consistently, and he based his policies on those wrong predictions. So the fact is, I think he has been called out, and him and as well as a particular economist, Bengali chap, from Colonel who
She does
speaks,
too.
who gets his wisdom from talking to
Drivers.
taxi drivers. I think a lot of economists, Nobel laureates included, have in a sense destroyed their own reputations by taking on stances which just do not stand the test of data, history, or fact.
Pallavi, assuming he does get a ticket from the Congress, what would be his constituency? Where would he stand
Tamil Nadu.
from?
Tamil Nadu.
South. South में
South.
कहाँ से? Karnataka, Telangana. He met Revanth Reddy also. I'm just saying, we are just speculating. No, nothing may come out of it. South से
Yeah.
मिल जाएगा कहीं ना कहीं से.
So, on a final note, Pallavi, what are you looking forward to in terms of news in the coming weeks? So we'll keep an eye out for it as well.
Yeah, right.
In fact, ask Suhel, na, he knows.
Suhel knows everything.
Looking forward to her meeting with Mamta Banerjee
Why?
because you all will both change the paradigm of political discourse in India.
Will you invite her to the Sunday Club, Pallavi?
I wish she would come here.
She'll fit right in, yeah. Everybody's a bong here.
But actually, Pallavi is a very nice person. Pallavi, if you speak to her nicely and in fluent Bengali, she might agree.
Yeah, tell her we are all like have some bond
Speak
connection.
English and all, try to impress her. Just speak in Bengali and it'll work.
Yeah.
Pallavi will have stiff competition from her ex-boss and his
Who's her ex-boss?
wife.
Rajdeep.
Rajdeep.
What? Acha, by the way, okay, last
There's
parting
something
question.
about PMC leaders and choosing.
Pallavi, last question. This how's Vasundhara Raje? I mean, she's cool. Are you
How
hearing
does she
anything
know?
from Rajasthan?
You
She
think
knows.
she's in every drawing room and every this
She
thing?
pretty much is. Anyway, Pallavi, go ahead.
I
Tell us.
think listen, she has no choice. She has reconciled herself. Pretty much poor Mamaji also has. But I like the way Shivraj Singh Chauhan at least comes out openly, Tiger Zinda hai and all that stuff. Vasundhara is very quiet.
Have you seen his
So,
Twitter bio? It now says Bhaiya and Mamaji.
yeah. So
Apparently, she's not taken it well. She's actually, that's what some people say, that she's in depression and all that.
but she knew it was coming, right? Yeah, but you keep on hoping.
उम्मीद पे से दुनिया कायम है. आपने भी तो उम्मीद रखी थी जब वो कैनिस्टर आपने छीना था आदमी से कि आपको लोग हेल करेंगे एज अ विक्टोरियस वॉरियर. It's another matter that, I mean, you almost created poison gas for all of us.
But
I
listen,
don't know
has an
whether the-
entire News Laundry episode been dedicated to you? No, it's been dedicated to me. I am so important that the entire episode was on me.
But Pallavi, one thing
Other
you may
journalists
know,
also didn't comment on the other journalists, only you.
Yeah, I don't know for saying
People
some
like
stuff
us for them.
to me. I don't know why. No,
Oh,
Bhagi,
okay.
yeah, that other guy, the TV9 guy who started it all on that also. Mere upar bhi kiya. A lot more on me actually. I wonder why should I take it as a
Yeah,
compliment?
okay, yeah, we get it.
Or
Yeah.
take it as misogyny, no? Play the women card.
but
And we know you're the star. Happy, ठीक है, बस. Now let's move on. What else?
Pallavi, एक बात बताओ, you should be knowing, is it true Vasundhara and her son tried to corner some MLAs, put them into some resort, etc.? Because if she did
No,
that,
41 MLAs, she flaunted, na, 40 MLAs.
no,
That's
she
also,
fronted. But no, there
see,
was
if
a
you are in
news.
BJP, this is what you shouldn't do.
That's what.
In the
But
BJP,
apart
they
from,
don't have thing. Aaj Modi ne na PM has said a very nice thing in a different context that I don't work under pressure. मेरी मैं दबाव पे कोई काम नहीं करता. He was talking about something else. He was talking about pressure coming in from, India Front and Congress. But see, he doesn't like this. No one likes it. Congress
no,
at one
apart
point
from
of
that,
time
if
also
she
liked it.
really put some people into a resort, that's the last kind of thing you take on with Modi and Amit Shah,
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
they might forgive, but they don't forget.
And they don't forgive either.
Oh, God. All right, everybody. It's been a
Well,
pleasure
to
again.
York, India, thank you, but I've stopped drinking alcohol or smoking since September the 1st.
That's very good, Suhel, and you look nice also.
Thank you.
As nice as you can look, actually. But see,
Thank you. I mean, it's a bit rich coming. It's a bit rich coming from someone who looks like a gollywog having just escaped from the Kejriwal Zoo.
You can get cancelled for words like gollywog.
Yes,
No,
absolutely.
although it is from your era, so I get that. It's from
Why can't
your
you say gollywog now?
No, you can't.
it's
No,
yeah.
why?
It's
Have you
racist.
seen what it looks like?
Are
Even
you
I know that.
serious?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Why don't we
yeah.
have a discussion next week on things that you can get cancelled for?
Yeah.
And then we
Yes,
all get cancelled.
yes, we'll get all get cancelled. I mean, uh, having to say
I
words we
think I'm
can't say.
cancelled anyway, except for Pallavi who gets invited out and all of that. I think the rest of us
But
are
Pallavi,
pretty
just get an
cancelled.
invitation. Yeah, I've never seen someone, plead for an invite the way Advaita has.
I'm in the hills again. I'm fine. The hills are alive with the sound of music. I'm here.
So the maximum invite we get, Advaita and I get, is from Sandip, which is at the IRC, which is not saying much.
Which is the
Well,
IIC,
why don't you
really.
invite us
Oh,
also, Sandeep?
Huh.
Sandeep
You are
always.
never in the country. Yeah. I
I'm
No,
gave
I
here.
you.
appreciate
I,
it.
I am never out of the country.
Yeah, but
Sometimes
you're
I'm
in
in Delhi.
Jammu. First,
He
IIC
doesn't
hasn't yet opened a
I
branch
guess he
there.
doesn't
After
consider
Article
Jammu
370
to
is
be a part
fully
of
done,
India.
they will.
No, I am
I'm just
sometimes in Delhi.
Oh, I told you, let's plan for it. Yeah, let's all of us
Okay,
meet there.
At
Seriously.
IIC. At
Every time
IIC.
no, wherever, no,
IIC is.
I gave you an option. I said Pallavi's choice. Then she finally said, "Acha, acha, IWPC mein aa jao." Wahan pe. Then I went there. What will you have? A green tea or a black tea?
that
Listen, you're such a liar, Sandeep. Come on. I offered you food. You said ki main nahi khaunga. I've got for a meeting. And then you didn't even show me your car because there was a Mercedes outside the gate which you didn't
Bullshit,
want
yeah.
me to.
She came running and she saw me getting into an
He
Uber
rides
and she
around
was
in a
so,
Mercedes.
no,
Yeah.
what? I was in an
What?
Uber and she got so disturbed. He said, "You drive an Uber?"
He
Uh,
is lying. I mean, Sandeep, at your age, you shouldn't be lying.
He's
my
a
age, I
corporate
can,
guy. He
my
should be
age,
in a
I can indulge in all vices. And then she said, "Acha," but she's a dada there. Yeah? She generally orders around everybody. Hey, idhar aao,
No,
isko
that's
phone
not
karo.
how I talk.
Oh,
No,
she
I don't
is
talk.
the leader of the opposition out there. She won by a very small
She
margin.
at least has got numbers in her favor. She sits there like
Those
a
characters
queen
know she could
with
win
her
the next election.
with her camera person, her driver, and this, and then her other associates. They all arrive there with their dabba tiffin box. उनको भी खाना नहीं देते हैं बोलो डब्बा निकालो क्या खा रहे हैं तो खा लो उसको फिर बोलता है ठीक है एक चाय पिला देता हूँ all these and these are senior colleagues of hers but she
Oh
is
dear.
the dada there anyway Pallavi hopefully
They're
one
punishing
day
compliment for you.
you'll become the chairperson of IWPC just like
Vineet, what do you mean at my age? What do you think? I'm old. Just because
You
I
can
talk to
run with
people
it.
Suhel and Sandeep doesn't mean I'm old.
no I didn't say you're old yeah I'm
No,
saying you
Vineet Khanna's writing that Pallavi at her age can run with the canister.
you can
Yeah,
run
This is what I
Suhel will
spend
be
time.
able to do it. It's
anyway.
absolutely true.
So it's better than ISC. I'll offer you, but get you people come together. Yeah, somebody is in Ghaziabad, somebody pretending to be in New York, somebody else is I don't know where.
And guys, if any of you want to buy a jute bag, we have a very good jute bag supplier.
Can you imagine? Here we are bloody discussing lunch at IIC. Look at her inanities. Someone want to buy a jute bag? Oh, fish.
Because Sandeep has been promising Pallavi and me jute bags and he's going to give it to us. So
If we
may as
can
well
get an iPhone Pro Max,
resell it here.
then if
Maybe
not,
we
we'll
I
get
have to
can't
do
an
afford to give you
bag.
LVs and whatever the Versace and other things you ask for. That only Suhel's friends can get you. So the maximum I can get you is a jute bag, which is natural, this and that. Okay.
Yeah, so very natural. So we are going to get that and we'll put it up for sale on the Sunday Club and raise some funds for Better Tech.
Yeah, that you can do. I can give you some branded jute bags, which you
Branded?
can
Like Sunday
branded
Club
jute
branded?
yeah, and that you can give offer people, whosoever contributes or whatever to you,
Yeah, we can give it to
subscribe.
our members. We've got members.
Subscriber, if people subscribe, you can give
Listen,
X
you get the
amount of
drift,
data.
Advaita. Don't workshop that here. He's told you, you understood. Go do it. We're not
Oh
interested
God,
in a bloody
Suhel,
workshop.
go to sleep. Go
Do
to
it,
sleep. Go to
you.
sleep. Okay, everybody, thanks so much for joining us. And we
Bye.
will see you soon this week if something interesting happens. Of course, Pallavi is not shared what she's looking forward to this week because that's just
She doesn't have
Pallavi.
a clue.
I'm
She
looking
doesn't.
forward to Didi being here, India Front meeting, Parliament tomorrow, last week of Parliament. That's it.
And one or
Okay.
two smoke bombs on the way.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. See
Canisters.
you all
Smoke
soon.
bomb
Please
canisters.
like and subscribe to the
Bye.
channel. And if you'd like to become a member and support us, you can do that as well. No pressure, but do like and subscribe. Thank you,
Okay,
everybody, for
I
watching.
mean, forget all
Bye.
this. Tell me, what's
I'm
happening on the
ending the
personal
live.
account?
I'm ending the live. Yes.
Yeah, end the frigging live. What's happening?